And here we go. Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome to our transfer students. This is a special edition to give you some insight on what a transfer student's life is like. And especially important, we have Alicia here. She's a transfer student herself, and she's going to give you some advice and some resources how to best navigate your journey, and especially the first weeks, months, and semesters at UF. We're aware that being a transfer student can be a little bit stressful in the beginning, but we are always here to support you and, be a part of your journey throughout UF. So here's Alicia. She's one of our students, and she's going to introduce herself a little bit and then give you some of the resources.
Hi, everyone. As Dr. Oli said, my name is Alicia. So I remember coming into UF as a transfer student was really overwhelming initially. I was going from a smaller community college to a larger university. There were all these different departments. There were all these different resources, and it was just so much at once, and I didn't know what to do initially. And I know that my experience is not a singular experience, and I've been where you are, and I'm hoping that this PowerPoint can help you make that transition a little bit easier than it was for me initially. So I call this the first steps because it is sort of a new journey. You're going from a smaller college or smaller university to this larger university, and you're taking those first steps forwards towards your future. So this is just a little note we had saying welcome. And just to remind you that you're not alone. As we go through this PowerPoint, we'll touch on some resources that are available to you. And this PowerPoint will always be available for you to have and reference in case you're ever lost, in case you're ever confused, or you need to find a resource really fast. So one of your first resources that you're going to have besides PowerPoint is the academic advising. That is a sample picture of what the site looks like, but the microbiology advising page, you fill out the survey and it directs you to the person that's best able to assist you. It's a great resource. It's just something you should utilize, and it's a lot of students don't feel comfortable talking to advisors or talking to teachers, talking to professors. But if you are lost and confused, that is the best thing you can do. They can direct you to classes. They can help you figure out your schedule. They can just give you advice in general. And honestly, they will become your best friends, so don't be afraid of them. So there is specifically transfer advising site, and there is a ton of information on that website. With the transfer advising, there are two advisors. We have Brian. He is there if you are in the College of Agriculture and Life Science. And we have Kevin if you're in the College of Liberal Arts and Science. But
just to chime in, don't be afraid if they don't reply immediately. Sometimes during registration, things get really, really busy. Just send another email, try to call. We're back in the office most of the time now, and just reach out. They will be able to help you, no doubt.
Absolutely. Like this past registration, I had to wait about 3 weeks to get in contact with Brian, but most of the time they're not going to forget you. They have a ton of students. Just if you don't hear back within a reasonable time, like Dr. Oli said, send an email. There's only so much one person can do a day, so just have a little patience with them. So academics, the thing that's on everyone's mind coming into the university is, what classes do I need? How do I get these classes? How should I take these classes? What's the sequence? And I know initially you do the transfer advising appointment to help you get settled into classes. when you come to view the campus, but again, it's still overwhelming and you're always looking at things and re-looking at things and you're like, should I do this? Should I switch this out? So.
And there's not one journey. I mean, everybody has a different combination of classes. It's really up to you what you feel most interested in, and it should be exciting and you should enjoy the classes you're taking as well.
Yeah, on that note, absolutely. For your electives, don't pick the easiest elective. Pick something that is interesting to you. You will enjoy it a whole lot more and you'll be more invested in it. One thing I've been telling my friends is I took prokaryotic cell structure, and that class, I would say, was not biochem level hard, but pretty near there. And it was challenging. I had to put in so many hours of study, but I would take that class again in a heartbeat because of how, not just challenging, but like how much information I learned, how many new programs I learned. Dr. Maupin is absolutely amazing on finding the newest research and keeping you up to date. And I appreciate her so much. Like, I wish she taught another class because I would readily join, but don't just, on that note, also don't just go off rate my professor because people are a little petty. I'm sorry to say it, but we have amazing professors in the microbiology department. And this goes back to what I was saying with advising. Talk to your professors, get to know them. They are willing to point you in the direction of things. They are willing to give you advice, and they're willing to help you in the best and any way they can.
And also be aware that most of our lecture classes are online only. There's a few classes where you have an option to be in a physical class, but most of our classes will be online, except the labs.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, that is not so much of a hindrance because teachers still have office hours and utilize the office hours. Office hours are going to be your best friend. So this is just sample plans for that first semester as you're coming in. It doesn't necessarily have to be fall or spring. Just whenever you come in, you can reference this and say, okay, maybe I'm not ready to take career seminar prep. Maybe I want to look at my career choices after I've been in the program for a while. This again is completely customizable. Your journey is your own. Your experiences are your own. Everything is just, we're basically saying, here's a template and take it and make it your own. So this was the sample I have for College of Agriculture and Life Science. And then this is what I have for the College of Liberal Arts and Science. The reason there are two separate ones is because there are slightly different requirements for each college. Nothing major, but for the College of Agriculture and Life Science, you will be required to take some sort of communication or speech class. You would be required to take a technical writing class, and you'd be required to take an economics course. Whereas the College of Liberal Arts and Science, you are required to have one college level foreign language course, one additional humanity course, and one social science course. So that's your main difference between the program. So this is just the core requirements that are required for you to graduate microbiology. Again, you can see there are options to make it your own. You do not have to take, for instance, if you're more interested in immunology, then go for immunology. If you're more interested in the microbial world and maybe pathogenic organisms, bacterial pathogens may be more for you. It's customizable. Remember your interests. Just don't let anyone dictate your choices.
And for the choice between pathogens and immunology, if you take one as a core, you can take the other class as an elective. So you don't have to choose the choice. If you enjoy both, you can definitely take both as well. And then also for the programming class, so there's a programming requirement. And it's these two classes. The functional genomics may not be taught right now. We're working on that, but I often send emails out. So pay attention to the emails I send to you, because sometimes there's other programming classes or R programming classes that can substitute for certain categories as well, especially for the quantitative class, the Python or another R class. So there are sometimes other options, but I will send out emails very regularly. You'll hear from me probably more than you ever want to.
Not only that, is if you go into your degree audit, these classes are listed in your degree audit as well as the alternatives for those classes. And if something looks interesting, again, meet with the advisor, mention the class that you're interested in and taking, and see if it will work. So in community college, I know it was a little different, that classes were pretty much offered year round. So fall classes were offered in spring as well and in the summer as well. It's going to be a little different on a university level. So there are going to be classes that are specifically for the fall, classes that are specifically spring classes, and classes that are specifically offered in the summer. There are classes that are offered year round, like physics, but looking at electives, it's probably going to be fall electives, spring electives, summer electives. And I'm going to repeat myself, and I'm sorry I repeat myself so much, but find what interests you and pursue your interests. Don't let the fact that a class may be challenging or a teacher has bad reviews or anything you hear negatively towards a class influence your decision to taking that class.
Right. And for these classes as well, especially if you're interested in pathogens, we actually have two minors. One is a pathogenicity minor, and you just need 2 extra classes to get this minor. And then we also have a bioinformatics minor. And the information is all laid out on our website and the advising website. So regardless of whether your future is in professional school, research, both of these ones are great options to enhance your resume and to stand out of the crowd.
Absolutely. And again, it's about following, I keep saying this, it's following your interests. So these are just some of the spring semester electives. We also do have the URL at the bottom with the electives list, so you can always check that. It's Dr. Oli's great at keeping that updated and keeping the information new on the site.
And you can also find the syllabi. So that website has not just when it's taught, who is teaching it, but it also has an updated syllabus. So this is a great resource for you where you can find all the electives, and this is always up to date.
And again, just more electives. This is your summer. Oh, one note I wanted to make and I forgot is that for transfer students, you are not required to have a summer in person. So you can take all online classes if you want in the summer, or you can completely skip summer if that is your cup of tea.
And instead do an internship or do research or something else that will contribute positively to your future careers.
Exactly. There are so many great REU opportunities. There are so many internal opportunities at UF over the summer. So that's one great thing being transfer. You're not required to have that in class, in person on UF in the summer. So you're going to be here for the next 2 to 3 years as a student. And again, it's not the same as community college. There are a ton of resources available to you. It can seem overwhelming at times, but student life is a thing now. You are part of a community, and when I first started here, everyone was like the Gator Nation, the Gator community, and it didn't really resonate with me what they meant. But once you're here for like one semester, you realize you're part of something bigger. And it's sort of an amazing feeling. But with that comes a lot of support, resources, and everything that can be super confusing. So these are just the general phone numbers. So you can reach someone really quickly if you need any information. So these are going to be your main resources: your libraries, your admissions, bookstore, counseling and wellness center. If your computer is having a malfunction right before a test, the computing help desk is great. I've used them quite a number of times this semester. But yeah, all these numbers, it's just a quick way to get in contact with someone so you're not waiting for an email. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of specific resources that I think are fantastic, but they're really underutilized. And the first one I want to point out is the Field and Fork. So Field and Fork is available to all UF students with an ID. It's completely anonymous. They keep no record of you. They don't share any information about you. But if you are experiencing any sort of food hardships, they're there. You go, you take your ID, they give you a reusable bag that you keep and you bring back and use, and you stock up on items you need. There is absolutely no shame in needing extra help. I've used Field and Fork my first semester on UF, and I'm really glad I found that resource because it helped me while I was making that transition and I didn't have enough money to start with. And my financial aid was all over the place until that got settled and until everything came through. They were a great resource. They kept me fed, and everybody who works there is super, super sweet. They are willing to answer any questions you have. They have shelf-stable goods. They have fresh produce from the Field and Fork farm sometimes. And just go in there, see what they have, talk to them. They're there for you. It's a really great resource. I can't stress that enough. All you need is your UFID, and that is it.
And hungry students, unfortunately, is a real thing. We have a lot of people live in food deserts. We have people who just don't have enough, especially when they come here freshly. Transportation can be a problem. If you don't have, if you don't know the bus system, if you don't have a car, it may be difficult to get to a grocery store as well. So it's a really great resource. Field and Fork also does internships. So if you're interested in working with them, they often have internships as well. And it's a really great group of people who are just really there for students to support you with your needs of being well fed.
And you can see their hours are really flexible. So if you have time between class and that's the only time you have, go between class, they're there. If you only have time, at the end of the day, they go at the end of the day, they're there for you. It fits your schedule. I can't say enough about this resource. So Gatorwell is another fantastic resource. They're basically the people who help you with your physical, emotional, sort of environmental well-being. And they do all sorts of programs throughout the campus to try and support that idea of wellness. So I know when COVID started, they were handing out hand sanitizer and antibacterial wipes. They have their main office in the Rights Union, where if you're feeling stressed, as silly as it may seem, you can go in there and color. If you need certain personal care products, they have those in stock. You can go to them and ask for them if you need them. They also do individual appointments if you're feeling sort of lost and you don't know where to turn to for your physical health or mental health. They can guide you to those resources as well. If you do live in the dorms, besides the main office in the Rights Union, they do have 2 Gatorwell Annex offices in Springs Complex and in Jennings Complex. Jennings is close to Beatty Towers and Springs is down there by the athletics fields. So one of the resources they will probably direct you to if you are having any sort of anxiety, relationship issues, mental health issues, is the UF Counseling and Wellness Center. Now, I will say they're a little bit out of the way, but there are buses that go right through there. And it's really not a bad walk from the microbiology building to the UF Counseling and Wellness Center. It's sort of just up the road. But they are an amazing group of people, and they support any mental need you may have, even if it's just tests make me anxious and I need someone to talk to. They will find you someone to talk to. They offer a variety of programs during the semester when we're in person throughout campus. I know one of my favorites was they had puppy days that you go and you pet the puppies. I know they had days where they had puzzles set out and stickers, and you just did puzzles and they handed you stickers. And I actually used the UF Counseling and Wellness Center for a while when I was dealing with my anxiety. And they gave me a counselor to talk to. And when it got really stressful, she was there for me, and she just helped guide me through everything, and she got me through that semester. So
Don't feel ashamed and don't feel shy, because things happen when you're at UF, and something you may have never experienced before, and it may be new to you, but there's people there to help. So reach out to your advisors, reach out to the resources on campus. They're all here for the students.
yeah, absolutely. Like, going from community college to university is, for me, it was stressful. You are going from a small community college where you sort of know most people, and teachers, the class schedules are a little different. It's not as high intensity. This is going to be a little different. Like, the classes are a little faster pace. They are definitely more challenging, and that can get overwhelming. And there's no shame in saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling anxious, or this transition I feel homesick. Even something as simple as that. Just reach out to these people. They're there for you. And they also have resources in their office by Smathers Library. There is a meditation room in there. There's a cognitive behavioral room where you could put on this helmet and you go through a video, and it helps you to regulate your breathing and just monitors your heart rate and pulse rate. And it just gets you basically breathing properly. So again, there are resources. They are fantastic. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to utilize them.
There's another great resource. It's called You Matter, We Care, the care team from the Dean of Students office. And they help you a lot when you have any kind of loss in the family or some other problems. And then I or other faculty often refer students. If you tell the faculty, they will refer you often to You Matter, We Care. And they are basically a safety net. They will communicate with your instructors. They will help you with medical drops and all sorts of other other problems you may encounter. So again, having a safety net there is really important, and to build that up and not to be shy to reach out. The other resource is the Disability Resource Center. So if you need any accommodations for testing, if you have ADHD or something else, you need to get registered with the Disability Resource Center, and they will again be there for you, communicate with the faculty, and support you throughout your journey at UF. And again, it's not a stigma. All of these programs are completely anonymous. Nobody will know that you have used any of the resources, and it will not be in any of your transcripts or record at all. So it's all anonymous. It's all here for you to be helped and have a great and safe journey through UF.
Absolutely. So speaking of classes getting a little overwhelming and the workload being challenging, there is Broward Tutoring on campus. Broward Tutoring is absolutely fantastic. And if you take biochem, you will be using Broward Tutoring because that is where their SI groups meet. So they cover a wide variety of classes, including physics, biochem. I think there's general microbiology in there as well now. So they cover all your challenging classes. They offer test reviews, tutoring, study groups, and there's a video resource page of old study groups that they had or PowerPoints they've done reviewing material. So again, you're not alone. You don't have to struggle through things. They're there to help you. And jobs and careers. I know for me specifically in community college, I was more focused on finishing my associate, and my community college did not offer a lot in the way of jobs or internships or research. But UF is a much bigger campus, and there are so many offices and so many opportunities. We have the UF job board. You go in there, you put yourself in as a student, you select the main campus, and it will list all the jobs that are available to students currently. And you can apply to anyone with your resume, your CV, once you fill the requirements. If you are looking for an internship, if you are not sure where you want to focus your attention, if you're looking for a specific job, but you're not sure how you would word the search, if you're looking for help with your resume or your CV, there's also the Career Resource Center. They're located in the Wrights as well. You'll find a lot of things are located in the Wrights, which makes it really convenient, but they can assist you with practically everything related to your current career and your future career. And one of the great resources they also have is career exploration. You will meet with someone and tell them basically what you're interested in, where do you want to go, what your work-life balance, what you want that work-life balance to be, just everything related to your career. And they'll try to direct you to the best path and give you alternatives to consider that you may not have considered before.
Yeah, again, it's never too early to think about your jobs and your choices and how you can make yourself a better applicant, because there are many, many resources on campus, everything from a research opportunity to jobs to, other courses, trainings you can do. So again, make sure you take advantage of the time you have at UF to make you the best possible candidate after you graduate.
Yep. So before I get into clubs and organizations, I actually didn't have a slide for this, but I do want to mention CURBS as well. That's the Center for Undergraduate Research. It's basically what it says it is. There are so many research opportunities on UF that it can get confusing. You have research opportunities in Shands, in the Communicore building. You have research opportunities in public health, in microbiology. And these are the people who you go to, and they help you to formulate emails to teachers or researchers. They help you find research opportunities, and they also host classes on how to find research opportunities, how to approach professors and researchers for those opportunities. And again, great resource, just helps to narrow down all the confusion. And they're a great bunch of people in there. They're really friendly. And they're always up.
A lot of micro majors as well.
Yeah, a lot of micro majors, and they're always up to sit down and chat with you. So there are definitely more clubs and organizations in this. I think at the last count, there was over 100 something. So really, again, any interest you have, there's probably a club for it. But microbiology specific, we do have the American Society for Microbiology, University of Florida Student Chapter, or ASM Gators. And if you just love microbiology, it's a great group of people to hang out with and share your interests about microbes, pathogens, and all the things that we sort of get excited about. The normal people look at us and like, it's bacteria. That is also where I found my first tardigrade under a microscope. So fond memories. And then if you are interested in viruses, there's also the UF Society for Viral Studies. I've been the event coordinator for, I want to say, about a year and a half for that club. But again, it's a great group of people. They talk about viruses, they do trips, and they have guest lecturers. So does ASM Gators. ASM Gators and Viral Studies have cooperated together as well. And it's just a really fun time. You can do both. You don't have to limit yourself. I would say do both. I'm doing both, so. And then I know we do have some medical students. So the University of Florida American Medical Student Association is a fantastic little club and group of people. It has medical students, pre-med students, students who think they might be interested in medicine, physician assistant students, residents, people who are practicing physicians. So it's a wide range. And they are not only a great group of people, but they have an enormous amount of resources if medicine is your focus, and they can guide you to those resources. There is also the Organization for Transfer Students. Currently, I think they will be operating in the fall again. Spring was hard for a lot of us, but they were also really great at just simplifying that transfer experience and making it where you could sit down with someone and help figure out your path and hear personal stories and just have someone relate to you as a transfer student and how overwhelming that experience is.
Definitely. That's all great resources. And there's one more I want to mention, the International Scholars Program.
Mm.
Oh, I can't type. International Scholars Program. And that's part of the International Center. And they offer a medallion. It's not a degree, but it's, you take a few courses and then you get an International Scholars Medallion. And that's a really fun group as well, because you actually get to know and get to meet people from across campus. People from every major are participating. And we just had some of, I think 5 of our students were participating and they just graduated in a special ceremony. And they require different activities on campus, but also it counts if you go and study abroad, if you do internships abroad, or anything, on a global sense. And that is something it's highly encouraged, and a lot of employers are really looking for international experience and also for cultural competency. So again, this is a great program, check it out. And, again, just one of these many resources where you can get like-minded people from different backgrounds, and, a great experience as well.
And let's see, before I say good luck on your journey, I do want to point out for Cal students, if you are interested in any sort of future leadership, whether that be managing a lab or leading a team of epidemiologists in the field, or any sort of leadership position, or even if you're just interested in learning about leadership, there is the CALS Leadership Institute. It is 3 semesters long and includes an international experience. And you learn so much, not only about how to lead teams and how to be